Hey, what's up guys? Today, I'll show you a horror film, Nails. Spoilers ahead, watch out and take care. The film begins with a nurse injecting a hypodermic needle into a little girl, making her unconscious. After that, he trims the little girl's nails and puts them into a small envelope with her name. The nurse then puts his hands on her belly, fixing her like a corpse. The scene then transitions to the protagonist named Dana, waking up early in the morning. Dana is an athletics coach, and doing yoga and jogging daily helps her maintain her health. After warming up in her house, Dana jogs outside when out of nowhere, a car suddenly runs her over. Dana lies unconscious on the cold ground while the driver drives away, leaving her with no help. Dana wakes up at a rehabilitation hospital where she finds herself partially paralyzed on the left side of her body and with a tube in her throat, momentarily forbidding her to talk. With the help of her husband and the hospital's technology, Dana can communicate by typing on a laptop that's programmed to predict what she's trying to say. Dana's husband, named Steve, tells Dana that their daughter has visited her every day for the last 2 weeks. Dana wakes up in the middle of the night after hearing some noises in her room. Dana tries to communicate. She certainly feels that she's not alone. Little did she know, a creepy figure stands at the corner, silently watching her. The following day, Dana shares with her personal nurse, Messybeard, about someone in her room last night watching her. Messybeard checks the underneath of her bed and even the supply closet to ensure no one's hiding. After seeing nothing, Messybeard comforts her that any hospital can give off odd atmospheres to the patients, but she has nothing to worry about because she's safe. Moments later, Steve and the daughter enter Dana's hospital room while Messybeard finishes Dana's bath. The daughter paints her mom's nails while Messybeard talks to Steve. He informs Steve that the painkillers are causing hallucinations in Dana after what she experienced last night. Messybeard advises him to find a psychiatrist for Dana while he talks to the director about it. After Messybeard leaves, Steve brings up last night's event and Dana tells him she's sure about someone watching her in her room. Although she couldn't turn her head, she could hear whoever it was breathing. Dana says that she doesn't like the hospital, but they have no choice because it's the only place the insurance can cover. Meanwhile, the daughter wanders around the place, ending up in an empty and creepy room where she stumbles upon the hospital director. The director takes the girl out of the spooky room. On the other hand, Dana gaslights herself, apologizing for being too much trouble to her husband. Steve reassures her that she has nothing to apologize for, as he has chosen her over his first wife because Dana is much younger and hotter. Steve changes the subject and tells Dana about a promising new member of the track team that he will be coaching, Ashley. Later that night, while she's asleep, Dana stirs as she feels something watching over her. As she opens her eyes, the ghostly figure haunting her room last night suddenly puts a pillow over her head. Dana wakes up a little jumpy from the nightmare and is surprised after seeing a doctor beside her bed, staring at her. It turns out the doctor has been informed of Dana's issues with her room and the feeling of being watched. The doctor shares his fascination with the fact that Dana was already dead for 3 minutes before the paramedics revived her when she got run over by the car. Dana tells him that she has no memories of what happened after that, but she heard voices around her, the voices of the dead. She also felt them grabbing her, digging their nails into her skin and pulling her down. And now, she can sense that something's not right in the place, but no one will listen to her. Later on, as she's left alone in her room, Dana spends the time typing her wishes before going to sleep. While asleep, the creepy figure comes out from the supply closet and disables her breathing machine. Before losing consciousness, Dana manages to see the creepy figure's face. Just then, Messybeard and the doctor come rushing into the room to save Dana. The following day, Dana tells her husband about the man with a weird face and long hands, turning off the machine. For Dana's safety, Steve hires someone to install surveillance cameras inside and outside her room. The cameras can be controlled on her laptop, and she can zoom in or out using a stick. While studying how to use and control the cameras, Ashley calls her husband, informing him that she has picked up his daughter from school. Steve lets Dana know about this, and she can't help but feel jealous upon knowing this. Their conversation gets interrupted as they see the director in the corridor. Steve comes out and threatens to sue her and the hospital if they do not care for Dana better. The director claims it's a freak occurrence that caused Dana's ventilator to shut off, but Steve doesn't care about that and just wants his wife to feel safe and better. As Steve leaves the premises, the director admonishes Messybeard about the equipment malfunction. Messybeard responds and blames it on the building's bad wiring, even showing the director a hole in the walls, which is the home of rats. The director refuses to accept that valid reason and blames Messybeard for almost losing Dana's life. Later that night, Dana finds small reddish circles forming on her legs, which she thinks are just a side effect of the medication. While entertaining herself, Dana stirs as she hears a thumping on the wall. She immediately types to communicate with the person beside her room. The patient next to hers continues to communicate with her by thumping on the wall. However, the patient stops thumping when she brings up the strange man who almost killed Dana in her room. And so, Dana spends her time researching the hospital's history and discovers something disturbing. She learns about the suicide of an orderly nurse named Eric, who was suspected of mercy killing 5 girls at the hospital in 1984. What's more disturbing is that Eric looks precisely like the man who turned off her ventilator. The following day, Dana asks Messy Beard about Eric, but Messy Beard was just a child when the suicide happened. So he refers Dana to the doctor, saying he has worked in the hospital since the 1980s. Dana brings up the patient next door. Messy Beard tells her that it's an elderly woman who had a stroke. He adds that the poor woman has never been visited by anyone. As Messy Beard prepares to clean her, Dana freaks out as she sees through the cameras that she has bed sores and scratches on her back, which she believes are the result of a ghost coming for her at night. Left with no choice, Messy Beard sedates Dana. After watching her sleep, Messy Beard closes the supply closet and barricades it with the wheelchair, so as not to let it open again. Later that day, the doctor visits Dana after hearing what happened and talks about Eric. The doctor reveals that Eric was admitted in 1972. Eric was constantly in foster care and a victim of abuse. The psychological trauma affected him greatly that they had to keep his fingernails short to keep him from tearing his own flesh. Over time, Eric improved. Over the years, the doctor helped Eric heal his emotional and physical scars. When Eric became an adult, he asked for a job in the hospital. Eric seemed cured until they discovered his obsession with clipping the fingernails of child patients and collecting them in envelopes. Because of this, Eric earned the nickname Nails, given by the hospital staff. Shortly after, Eric worked as a nurse. The hospital had an unusual case of child deaths. Eric became a suspect when 5 little girls died. The doctor thought that Eric killed those children, thinking he was saving them from experiencing the same abuse and trauma he did. Although it was never proven, being a suspect in the deaths caused Eric to commit suicide. Fear strikes Dana as the doctor confirms that Eric hangs himself in the closet of Dana's room. As the eerie night comes, Dana spends her time Skyping with her daughter, only to discover that Ashley has been spending more time at their house with her family. Deeper into the night, Dana tries to get out of her bed as she sees Nails emerging from the supply closet, slowly approaching her. Messy Beard comes rushing in after hearing the alarm, causing Nails' haunting vision to disappear. The following day, Dana shows the footage of the closet door opening to Steve, who only worries that the cameras reinforce Dana's irrational fears. Steve leaves the room and instructs his daughter to keep Dana company while he talks to the director and the doctor. He shares that he's uncertain of what to do, since Dana is certain about seeing Eric's ghost in the surveillance video. Meanwhile, Dana instructs her daughter to ask the old woman next door about Eric, since the poor woman has been in the hospital for a while. The daughter then silently sneaks into the room next door and asks the old woman about Eric. Suddenly, the old woman screams at the girl, who quickly gets her dad and the doctors into the room. Unfortunately, they're too late because the old woman has left the world of the living after having an attack. Later that day, Messy Beard nails the supply closet shut, assuring that no one will get in and out. But that's not enough for Dana, who pleads with him to help her escape the hospital, because Nails is not a person. He's an evil thing coming after her. However, Messy Beard refuses to assist her further and tells her to have her husband take her home instead of asking him. As she's left alone, Dana researches why others can't see the dead, unlike her. It turns out, when she died for about 3 minutes during the hit and run, she was with the dead. That's why she can see Nails, because she was once dead. Meanwhile, Messy Beard comes to the director's office and confesses that he did see something in Dana's room when he rescued her. However, the director refuses to reveal anything about Eric to Messy Beard. She claims Eric was too devoted to the patients to do such a horrible thing. The following night, Nails possesses Dana's laptop and repeatedly tells her that she will die in the hospital because no one will help her. Nails then shows a video of Steve and Ashley having an affair in their family home while she's in the hospital. Dana then finds more scratches on her legs, prompting her to ask Nails what he wants from her. Instead of showing up, the phrase, "I miss you," supernaturally appears on her belly, causing her to lose consciousness from hyperventilation. On the other hand, Messy Beard repeatedly smashes a file cabinet with his bat in the basement after hearing noises behind the walls. He opens a drawer, thinking it's the rats, when he accidentally discovers a folder with Eric's name on it. It contains all the files of the 5 little girls that Eric was suspected of killing. Before he can thoroughly read through the files, Messy Beard's laptop shows live footage of Nail emerging from the wall hole to murder him, ending his messy life. Later that night, Steve snaps at the director after seeing the scratches on Dana's legs. He believes that it's Messy Beard pawing Dana up, but Dana insists that Messy Beard is innocent. Steve gets even more furious when the director decides not to call the authorities. The director exits the room, leaving Dana with her family and Ashley. Steve shows her the folder the director found in the basement, suspecting Messy Beard of being a deranged copycat. The folder contains a file of Dana as a child admitted to the hospital with meningitis. Steve adds that Dana was admitted to the hospital at the time Eric supposedly kidnapped the children, implying that Dana should have been Eric's target, and now he's coming for her again. On the other hand, the director returns to her office and contacts the police when Nails takes over the phone call before attacking her. The scene returns to the family with Steve telling Dana that she's crazy and belongs to a psychiatric hospital because Nails has been dead for a very long time. Ashley then meddles with the family dispute, defending Dana's behavior. However, Dana snaps at her, calling her a whore before revealing to everyone that Nails showed her a video of Steve and Ashley hooking up. Ashley excuses herself and goes to the parking lot to wait for Steve and his daughter. Steve doesn't deny the accusation, so Dana belittles him for escaping their problems. In fact, Steve left his first wife for Dana, and now he's leaving Dana for Ashley, who's much younger and hotter than her. Suddenly, the power goes out, so Steve leaves them to look for Ashley. Left alone with her only daughter, Dana tells her to run, but the girl refuses to leave her mother. Seeing the determination on her daughter's face, Dana asks her to help remove her tube and get her to the wheelchair. The daughter gets worried that her mom would struggle breathing without the machine, but Dana reassures her daughter that she can breathe without the ventilation machine. The daughter follows what her mother told her and finds a way out while pushing Dana, who's now in the wheelchair. Steve enters the car, where he finds Ashley, who's now possessed by Nails. It is too late when he realizes that Ashley is possessed, and so Ashley attacks and ends his cheating life. After that, Nails returns to the hospital, striking terror in Dana. The daughter immediately runs while pushing the wheelchair to escape, accidentally running into a patient, whom Nails kills after passing by. Fortunately, Dana and her daughter run into the doctor. However, shortly after encountering him, Nails catches up to them and takes the life out of the doctor. The daughter pulls her mom out of the room as Nails slowly advances toward them. As soon as her daughter steps outside the room, Dana locks her out and bids her daughter goodbye before deciding to confront Nails alone. The daughter can only cry and scream in agony, knowing that her mother will die. She tries to open the door as she watches Nails levitate her mother and throws her around repeatedly until she dies. The scene shifts to the daughter. While recovering in the ambulance, the girl tells the paramedic that Nails killed her mother. The film ends with a vision showing Eric preparing to eject Dana with a hypodermic needle while she lies in a hospital bed, just as how the children were murdered back in 1984. The Nails haunting will continue to live on with many deaths, and perhaps with more to come. This is Daniel CC Movie Channel. Stay safe and enjoy your day.